Can the Browns defense stop this rushing attack for the Commanders? And if so, with a running quarterback like Jaden Daniels, who has given fits, that kind of archetype of quarterback has given the Browns fits, what do they have to do a better job of, schematically speaking, in order to negate what Washington does best on offense?
Tackle.
And that's it, too. You're right.
They missed 20 tackles versus Vegas, by the way, according to Next Gen Stats.
I mean, this is one of the things that we look at across the league, and it rears its ugly head all the time. Because everybody has receivers, and we're looking to have receivers, you go with smaller sub packages. Everybody made base defense dime now, nickel. And one of the things that offenses understand is, well, okay, you want to run nickel, let's go ahead and get our receivers the ball very quickly, or running backs out on the perimeter, and let's see if your nickel back, aka G-New,
can tackle.
Yep. And that's not happening. So now, if you don't get the level of penetration up front, they're already in the secondary, right? JOK is as brilliant as he is. If you get an offensive lineman on JOK, he's dead.
He's
undersized. Greg Newsome is now your force player. Guess what? You got problems. And then you got Ronnie Hickman and Juan Thornhill, who are playing 90 yards back in the back so they don't get beat over the top. And you got Martin Emerson off 10 yards. So my thing is, if Hicks don't make the tackle, or we don't get penetration up front and stop the momentum, then guess what? They're in the secondary and in our linebacker core, and guess what? That's 5, 6, 7. I see them try to – Madison drug the pile, like for an 8-9 yard game. I said, this is Madison. This isn't Jerome Bettis. This isn't Derrick Henry. This is Madison. So they found out that, if you can get the Cleveland Browns and you can get bodies on bodies, and this is just what's going on, the defense is getting faster, but they are getting smaller. So teams are spreading people out, getting you on the perimeter, and making you tackle in space, and the Browns are not good at that. And especially got Denzel Ward, who, you're blowing him, he has a concussion, right? You think they ain't telling him, hey, Denzel?
Last thing you want is him lowering his head and
The
going
last
after
thing
you can't have
him
it.
is setting the edge.
His next one could be his last one. You don't know.
So this is why I say this is not everything we talking about is not a fix that's going to happen just tomorrow because they woke up and wanted it. There's a scheme problem. There is a serious personnel issue. There's personnel problems on both these sides.
But I like what you said because you did simplify it, and it's kind of funny. You're like, how do you win the game? Score more points.
Right.
How do you stop the run offense?
Tackle.
It really is that simple. That's one of the first building blocks of becoming a football player. How do you tackle? Last night, the Bucs lost a game because they got out of their technique and they forgot how to tackle. Like, it was that simple. They were wrapping guys up 4 or 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage, and they were getting 30 yards on breakaways. Their yards after contact was incredible. And I felt like I was watching the Browns defense this year when I was watching late in that Buccaneers game. These guys just forgot how to tackle.
It feels like tackling is a lost art.
It is. You know why? I've talked to players about this. They don't let them do it.
Well, the rules have changed so much.
That's it.
And
I'm talking about in practice.
During the week.
Like, how do you get better at something? You do it a lot.
Yeah.
What if they washed out of tackling or out of training camps and practices? Tackling.
They're not even wearing pads in practices.
They're not.
They're not even wearing shoulder
pads. And so no one should be surprised when these defenses are just flat whiffing on tackles because they're not getting to work.
I might need to do a deep dive on broken tackles compared
just look at yards after contact.
20 years ago.
I'll assure you it's gone up dramatically.
Yeah.
So think about it. We've already talked about it. Ask yourself, you say teams are going to short, quick passing. Well, offenses no. Well, guess what?
That could turn into a long one. Break one tackle, it's a touchdown.
It's one-on-one. How often is that guy, that corner, or small guy going to make that tackle?
Who never did a touchdown last night? Carol Hodge.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
So why would you give them an opportunity to pick the ball off, put your quarterback in duress, maybe have something happen?
And that's a low-risk pass.
And it's a low-risk pass. If they tackle him, you line back up and say, tackle him again the next play.
That's exactly right.
And so, why would you do it? So we look at it, the teams and the Browns were great last year because they gang tackled very well. And what I mean, they were so relentless. They were like a bunch of piranhas around the ball that even if they missed the first tackle in the backfield, somebody else was already there ready to hit them in the backfield.
Yeah, you had backups.
You had backups and people and bodies around the ball. Then people realized, we can't do that. Here's what we're going to do to the Browns. We got to give them eye candy. Here's what I used to work UPS. And I used to be a holiday jumper. So we used to deliver packages from Amazon when I was in college. We get out the car, and I go sauntering up to the door, slow knock. UPS, I got back to the door. I got back to the truck. The driver said, hey, man, I don't know if you know anything, but the way we do it at UPS is I'm going to give you some doggy biscuits, because there's going to be some free dogs, and I need you to run to the door, throw that package up there, and get back in. So we was using, I said, what we do with dogs? He said, that's what them doggy biscuits for. You get that doggy biscuit, you can say, here, Rover, it's over there. Drop that package and get there.
Diversionary tactic.
They dropping them packages on the dog. They dropping them bones. Like, here you go, Miles Garrett. Right, look over there, there's a squirrel. They running right past them.
Don't take the bait.
Do not take it.
Yeah, if you do that, I'd be fascinated to see what you find.
Yeah,
because just anecdotally, as I'm watching football, I've thought this the last year, even more so this year. What happened to the great tacklers in the NFL? There used to be so many of them.
Yeah. Cordell Hodge is that Cordell Hodge?
That is of Browns fame.
Old Browns guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's him.
Cordell Hodge caught a small sit down route and went to the house.
And took off.
And guys missed. Guys just missed.
It was just like, and he didn't really get touched
and
like
the play before was a big gainer, and the same thing happened there. It was just a short completion. He slipped out of the first tackle, and so to your point, well, hell, if they're not going to tackle, we'll run the same play again.
Yeah.
Run what works.
G, real quick, and then we'll get to, we got 3 super chats to wrap up the show.
I have a text, too, that somebody sent me that I can't unsee now.
What?
Okay. Well, that's a great tease for the last minute.
Yeah. It's on G. Bush's outfit, and I kept thinking it reminds me of something, but I couldn't. And a buddy of mine
One of the
nailed
super
it.
chats is on G. Bush's outfit too. But G,
Yeah.
real quick, Jaden Daniels has thrown 3 touchdowns this year. He's run for 4. Steve, you want to take this poll? His legs might be as efficient as he's been as a passer. His legs actually may be a more dangerous weapon. We've seen that kind of quarterback, and I know you said it tackle. And obviously that is the most basic premise of it. They missed 20 tackles against Vegas, which led to 99 extra rushing yards according to Next Gen Stats last week. It was the most missed tackles in any game this season. Is that something in today's day and age of practice where, as you guys mentioned, they aren't wearing pads, they're not really hitting? Can you fix that in 1 week? Is that just effort? Like,
a couple of years ago, when you do your piece, you have to look this up, Jay. Dartmouth, and leave it to Dartmouth, invented a robotic tackling dummy. And the tackling dummy, you could program it, and it was very erratic. It was all over the place. It was like trying to catch a greased chicken, you know? Mm-hmm. And they said, we can't practice tackling anymore in practice because of the safety protocols and everything. So this thing was kind of like a Weeble. You remember the old Weebles wobble? Yeah. But it had wheels on it on the bottom, and then it was a tackling dummy, and it just darted all over the field. And it was like a water bug, and it could change direction and not lose speed. And
it's like Rocky chasing the chicken.
That's exactly what it was like. And when I saw this story, and it's been a number of years now, but when I saw it, I'm like, that's exactly what I said. I'm like, that's when they told Rocky to improve your speed, you're going to chase chickens. Well, I don't know if that is caught on widespread. I don't know whatever happened to that. I just remember that Dartmouth was the one that rolled this out there. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, there's going to be 10 of those in every NFL training camp within a couple of years. And I've never seen one. But it makes perfect sense because that's the only way you can practice a very important skill set without the risk of injuring the ball carrier.
Here's what, can they fix it in a week, like individual tackling? No.
No, they can't?
Individual.
Not even if they emphasize it more?
Mm-mm. I think tackling is a skill set like defense.
Okay.
Some people are just better at it than others. I think what you can do defensively is if you have guys that are busting their tails to the football, some people chart it, and it's called loafing. I see too much of it. People running around. The ball carrier has the ball. Defensive linemen are trotting. You trotting downfield because the pass is completed. No, you're supposed to be sprinting, and that's where you get your fumbles from behind. That's where you get your strips. Defensive line stop draws. Defensive linemen are supposed to be the guys that are coming back retracing their steps when they see draw a screen. And if you get a bunch of guys, and is it easier to catch a chicken if you got one guy chasing it or four?